Hello everyone! So this week's video is a bit different from the others. This video is for nursing students who are going to their preceptorship, as I have just finished mine, so everything is still fresh in my brain so I can relay these information to you. So first and foremost, I just want to say to our nursing students who are watching, good job for making it this far. Nursing school is very tough, so good job for making it this far. So now you're here in this video gathering tips that you can use for your preceptorship. So here they are. So the first tip is very general. Just knowing the expectation of the unit that you're going to, either if it's med-surg or if it's a specialty unit, you should be aware of what is expected, what do you need to know, right? And second is knowing your scope of practice as a student. You don't want to end up in a situation where you did something that you were not supposed to, and you end up failing, or you end up getting removed from nursing school because you were not aware of it. But that is your responsibility as a student to know about it. So don't forget to look through your scope of practice and to really understand what you can or cannot do. And if you didn't even look at it, you could have missed an opportunity that you could have taken because you weren't even aware if you're allowed to do it, right? So it's better for you to understand it, know the things that you can or cannot do while you're on that floor or wherever you're preceptoring. So the second one is, I'm not fully aware if other schools do this, but my school particularly, our instructors had advices to meet up with their preceptors prior to our shifts. Normally, it would be either in a hospital setting or just somewhere in a cafe, just grab a coffee and then just chat about it, right? This is a way for you to introduce yourself as their student, and it's also establish some grounds on regarding about your preceptorship. So this is where you have to keep in mind 6 of these things, okay? Make sure to write them down. You need to know it. So first thing you want to remember is the schedule. Make sure you go through that with your preceptor and making sure you understand their schedule and your schedule as well as a student. Second, you want to go through the scope practice, making sure that both sides are aware of what you can do and the things that you cannot do. When you go on the floor, they know the things that are expected of you as a student and what you can or cannot do. Third thing is you want to make some goals for yourself. For my class, we have a learning plan that we do, and this is where we establish in our first week, or at least the first shifts of our preceptorship, and we establish some goals that we want to do throughout our preceptorship, and that basically establishes things that we want to be able to do by the end, and a lot of it surrounds independency or professionalism, communication, time management, any of those sorts. So having those set goals in mind and communicating them with your preceptor will be a very beneficial thing to do, and they can also provide things to help you succeed in those goals. Fourth thing is you want to ask them about more information about the floor that maybe you're not aware about, or maybe that you haven't gone through in nursing school. Some knowledge that are very base experience, so it's very okay for you to ask if they have any list of like terms that you need to go and search through, or any research to help yourself be prepared before you're going onto the shift. So at least when you come across these things, that you are fully aware of them. For myself, I know that there's a lot of equipments in maternity. Did I say I was in maternity? For my preceptorship, they were able to give me information that I'm not aware about, such as like the instruments that they use in labor, and this helps me figure out, it's like, oh, this is what's used for this. So when I'm on the floor, I immediately know where to grab it and what it is, and I know what it's used for. Helps you being prepared, right? So the fifth thing you want to remember is to discuss with them about their expectation as a student, because this makes you aware of how they want to see you on the floor, how they want you to be more independent, how they want you to be more proactive in your nursing care. Things like that, as a lot of preceptors have different values and different outlooks of what nursing is. It is in your best interest to ask them what their expectation of you as their student is. Last thing is, it's just a general from you. If you have any other questions that have not been answered yet by a preceptor, make sure to remember them, have them written down somewhere so that you remember to ask them at the end. These 6 tips will really give you a foundation and to help you prior to you starting your shifts. So now you've gathered everything in your hands from your preceptor, assuming that you have time in between from meeting your preceptor and starting to your preceptorship. So now this is the time to actually study them and help get that base knowledge so that when you are on the floor, you're confident. You know the expectations of you are, you know the knowledge, you know most of the things that are happening, and you're able to give a confident report or confident patient education, anything. There's no such thing as preparing too much. At least you're more aware of what you need to do and what you need to accomplish in your preceptorship. So now that you're starting preceptorship, one thing that I would advise you guys to have is like have a little notebook with you at all times. That's what I had personally done in my preceptorship. Even just like a very small, like this size notebook that you can hide into your scrub is very beneficial for your time, because it can just act as an extra paper if you need it. If you're like in a patient's room, you need to write something down, at least you have that paper by your side. It also helps you to keep track on the things that you do as a student, and also things that's like, oh, you haven't done yet. And you can let your preceptor know, it's like, hey, I haven't done this, can we do that? And then you can tick it off. And then the next time it shows up, then you go and do it. So at least it keeps you monitoring your progress as a student. And if you're the type of person who can't remember some things that are said once, at least writing them down will help. And when you go look back at it, at least it's there. And making sure to refresh it every single time. It's better for you to write something down every day, so collectively you can see all of the new things that you've learned, and you can always apply those understandings or knowledge into your nursing care. And another thing that I did was to always ask my preceptors at the end of a shift or the end of the rotation, how am I doing? So am I doing well? Do I need to do something better? Is there something I need to research on? This lets your preceptor know that you are open to advice, that you're open for feedback and things to improve in yourself. And this also benefits you as a student because their feedbacks will always help you in the long run and help you progress as a student. Don't be afraid to ask. I know it might be scary. Take it in as something that you can work on. Don't take it personally, because you are still learning and you will always be learning. Even when you go and start as a licensed nurse, you will always be constantly learning. So don't be afraid to ask advices at this time, because at least it goes to show that you're aware and you are doing something about it, and your preceptor is aware of that. You can do your best. You will do your best. That's everything for this video. I hope it serves you well. Thanks for watching this video. Hit likes and subscribe, and follow me in more of my content. Hopefully I'll start to do more of these types of videos, so you'll see more of this. Alright, see you guys. Bye bye.